Our parents failed to prepare us for what life was going to be like in the modern day, with what the pandemic setting back a whole generation of young adults to become successful in life. And now AI is going to swoop in and take those jobs that we couldn't do in the first place. Let's not get started on what the job market is right now. I think there has been a big faux pas in how our parents and the previous generations tried to prepare us for what life was going to be like. And our channel is here to fix that mentality shift. I don't want us to completely crash out and give up on life. I want us to see the options that we have in our lives. How can we take control of the life that we lost control of at one time in our life? This video is for you, okay? This is for you guys to see that there's more to life out there than the zip code that you're born into. So, this is a travel channel and it's going to be heavily travel focused. There may be other ways, but I've seen that traveling, especially solo traveling, has been a good way to sort of put the battery back in my back to start being successful in life. And I think I've prepared a few videos that would help see that you're not alone in this position. So let's get right into this with this first video.
Studies show that solo travel actually rewires your brain for success. So your brain has incredible neuroplasticity throughout life, right? And traveling solo actually taps into this superpower for personal growth. Now, studies show that solo travelers are 13% more likely to build confidence than group travelers. And also, you're just more likely to do what you want when you're traveling by yourself. Okay, but here's the crazy part. So when you're navigating new places alone, like I've been doing today, you're literally creating new neural connections that are enhancing cognitive flexibility and new problem solving.
That sounds about right. In my recent solo travels to Germany and Romania, I felt like I did turn like 25 like while I was traveling, but so it was more than just like the frontal lobe developing or whatever they want to say about that. But traveling at the same time as developing your brain, I feel like it creates a whole different person in you. When you're off on your own, I think it's more than just the dorming experience in college can give you. It's you're finding that independence, that explorative nature that we all have as humans, that I feel like can only be awoken through solo travel. But yeah, let's let this guy finish.
Skills. And listen, if you've never traveled solo, you need to do it. This is your sign. Go do it. And if you are traveling solo right now, where are you right now so I can stalk you? But do you enjoy it, or would you rather travel with people?
Yeah, this guy explores the idea of solo travel versus group travel. I've made previous videos before about solo travel versus group travel. Yeah, definitely a big advocate for solo travel because it's a whole different experience, Also, I don't like staying in hostels. No, I do not like I see these like party hostels on TikTok where like people bother you with like drinks. I don't think I want to be bothered in such a way. But yeah, let's go on to this next video.
Wait, so if you left corporate, how are you making the same amount of money that you were making before? I'm not. But I also don't want to die, right? So, I don't know, that's kind of a good trade-off. I don't hate my life 5 days out of 7 days of the week. I don't spend my life working on projects that I could not care less about. I don't pretend to be someone I'm not. I spend every single day doing what makes me happy and what I love.
Yeah, I think that's the trap that we fall into when we're working a job that doesn't really fulfill you. Most jobs that we're forced to work don't really fulfill you. And, people like this have the courage to make that leap of like, stopping that, 9 to 5 cycle. I think it's healthy every once in a while, just like, take a breather from work every now and then, I don't know exactly what this girl's plans are as a result, but working 9 to 5 your whole life, you get stuck in that mentality that your job, your work is your life, and that's not quite the case. But yeah, let's let this girl continue.
Can you imagine that? If you were going to be paid millions of dollars, but you had to be in prison your whole life? Would you take that? That's how I feel about this whole thing. I don't give a fuck how much money you're paying me. I am in prison here. I hate it here. And I have to spend most of my life in this prison. It's not fucking worth it. I actually don't have any doubts that one day I will be making as much as I was making in corporate, maybe even more. But for now, yes, leaving your career is a financial step backward. But you know what they say about taking one step back, right?
Yeah, no, that's facts. I know that it's like a big bragging point with a lot of jobs about, job security. And I don't think that's such a big thing to be bragging about. I think the point of working a job is so you can get a different job, a different, better form of work that, is better than your previous job. You don't want to be stuck working the same job for 20 years of your life. That I can't even imagine that. Like, I could barely imagine even 10 years. But yeah, no, that definitely very important to, switch jobs every now and then, maybe take a break, And, taking a break from work isn't always just like completely halting your steps in the progression of your life. I want to get that one thing straight, There's many opportunities of how to progress your life out there that, don't specifically pertain to a W-2 job. But yeah, let's keep going.
Hi guys, so everyone talks about Bangkok, Chiang Mai and Pattaya, but do you ever wonder where the smart expats are heading now? They're heading to second tier cities. That's where the quiet shift is happening. Places like Udon Thani, Chiang Rai, even Nakhon Si Thammarat. They've got it all the essentials, hospitals, malls, even Starbucks if you're into that kind of thing. But without the noise, traffic and price tag of the big cities. And let's be real, rent is a joke. You can get a full condo for what people pay for a studio in Bangkok. Plus the locals are a lot more chilled, less tourist fatigue, more genuine smiles.
Yeah, second tier cities. What he means by that is, not when you think of like the capital of a country, I think he's going like a lesser known, lesser talked about city on the side of that. So if you're talking about like Berlin or Munich, you might want to go to, Stuttgart instead. These are German cities, but I think you get the idea, And if you're more of like that introvert kind, that like less abundant in crowd activity, this kind of idea would be good for you. And yeah, our recent videos have been talking a lot about Thailand. It seems like a lot of Americans are moving to Thailand. So this is like a big topic for many travelers, but especially if you want to be an expat, when you want to like completely uproot from America and move to a different country, Thailand is on a lot of people's lists. But yeah, okay, let's keep on going.
And yeah, you'll still find your pizza, your German beer, your creature comforts, but without fighting off thousands of influencers. So if you're over the crowds, the scams and the Bangkok chaos, maybe it's time to look a bit further out. I've been spending more time in places like Chiang Rai lately, and honestly, the peace and pace of life, it's on a different level. Now, you don't have to follow the herd. Sometimes the best life is just one city further than everyone else is willing to go. So stick around if you want more of this kind of real talk about living in Thailand, off the radar places, real costs, no BS. So I'll see you in my next video. Anyway guys, I'm about to enjoy a beautiful pizza and a big bottle of German beer. Have a wonderful day, Kop Kun Cup.
Okay, peace, Unc. Yeah, no, it looks like he's enjoying life, and I'm glad that it sounded like he had like an Australian accent. So, yeah, it's good to see perspectives of people coming from other countries. I'll try to provide more, American videos because I'm pretty sure more Americans watch my channel. If you're from another country, I don't know exactly the statistics, but let me know what country you're from in the comments, because it would be nice to get a gauge of what my audience is like. But yeah, let's let's keep this gravy train going.
The only reason why you're struggling is because you're still living in the US, because you still think that it is the best country in the world, because you think that that is the only country that's going to provide you opportunities. I'm here to tell you, as your Dominican sister that was born and raised from the Bronx, stop depending on being an American and living that lifestyle and living there full time. I secured my...
See, this is what I want. More native speakers. Well, not speakers, but native to me, because New York represent. Yeah, I love seeing travelers from New York, because, especially New Yorkers, when you're grown and raised in New York, you feel like, you're at the peak of where everyone wants to be. And, it's not exactly like that. Like, I think a lot of us might have fallen for the propaganda. And when you're stuck in New York, it feels like you're stuck in New York. But yeah, let's keep this going.
Secured my legal residency in Spain under the digital nomad visa 2 years ago. Since then, I have been able to heal my leaky gut and inflamed thyroid that was developed while I was living in the US because I changed my environment. That's all that it takes. Change your life. I'm here to tell you, if you are struggling, if you're feeling out of place, if you're getting sicker and sicker, more stressed, your body is telling you it's time to go. And it doesn't have to be difficult. You can secure a second residency in Europe, and let me show you how. There are 3 different visas in Spain that can get you legal residency within 6 months. You got the digital nomad visa for remote workers, non-lucrative visa for retirees or individuals and families with substantial savings or passive income, highly skilled professionals visa if you have a 4-year degree in a very high skill such as tech, administration, finance. You can secure a job in Spain that can hire you and qualify you for that visa.
Yeah, this is some valuable info especially for people who want to completely remove themselves from America, not just travel, be a full expat. And yeah, no, you're definitely good to be looking in these kind of options. I do want to react to a video soon about, the actual concept of like what tax incentives you have for moving to certain countries. But yeah, let's let the sister keep talking.
And you can get legal residency between 1 to 5 years. If you're Latin American like me, yo soy dominicana, on the fast track to secure citizenship in 2 years. Once you do that, you can leave the US. You can live in Spain and have free, unlimited access to all the EU countries, unlike a tourist does. This is your sign. Stop struggling, change your environment. If you like my help, I built a whole company around helping Americans move to Europe. All you need to do is click the link in my bio to book a free consultation with someone on my team today.
All right. I've definitely been looking more into the kind of countries that would be most preferable to get like a citizenship from or visa. Look out for that video coming soon, because I think a lot of people, especially when you're a higher earner or you're on your way to becoming a higher earner, these are things you want to think about, plan for the future. But yeah, let's keep on going on. Let's go.
Something that I just don't fucking understand in America is the absurd work ethic that people have. If you go anywhere in Europe, people will tell you that you are way too hardworking in America. I don't think people understand that there are Europeans out there who are in their 20s, who it's normal for them to only work around 20 to 30 hours a week and live off of a part-time job, because not having a career in Europe is viewed as normal.
Yeah, no, this is especially, I hear a lot about this in Italy. They only work like a few months at a time in Italy, and then they go to America for a few months, and then they go back and forth. It's a very interesting phenomenon that like would be a very big culture shock to a lot of Americans. Because here it's work, especially in New York. You see white collar workers all the time going in and out of offices. Yeah. But yeah, let's let him keep going.
It's normal to not want to live to work. Like, one of the first questions you will hear when you go and greet a European isn't, what do you do for work? It's something like, how was your day today? What are your hobbies? I can't even begin to tell you how fucking brainwashed we are here in America about work culture and work ethic. It's fucking absurd. The only place that I can somewhat equate to what the American work ethic is someplace like Japan, where they literally sometimes businessmen don't go home for like 4 days straight because they have to go out drinking with their boss after work and they can't make the train ride home. So they stay in the city, drunk, pass out on the street, and go to work the next morning. And that's a 4-day cycle.
Yeah, no, if I always wondered about that, especially when I was watching anime as a kid. You know, they in those animes, those cartoons, those Japanese cartoons, they're always like drinking out late, and it's, you know, it's when you see that as a kid, you feel like that's the life, to stay out late and like drink. You know, I mean, I didn't drink as a kid, but yeah, no, they do overwork themselves in Japan, it seems like. But yeah, let's keep going.
It's not as bad here in America as it is in Japan with the work culture, but it's getting to a point. Something that's even more insulting about America is the fact that if you work 60-hour weeks in Japan, at least you're taken care of by your company and given a pension by the time you require. Here in America, you work 3 different gig jobs at 60 hours a week, and you don't even get fucking health insurance from the government. I genuinely don't know how leaders think that this is going to keep going, how this machine is going to keep going. We are running ourselves into the fucking ground. Shit needs to change. People should not, and like, it is against nature to work 60 hours a week all year round. Are you fucking joking?
Yeah, we sort of normalized working all year round. It's kind of crazy, like, especially like when you like try to clock out of work early, and like your employees sort of shame you, and they're like, "Oh, you don't like money?" Like, bro, I like living. Like, life is way more important than the money you make. Like, I know it's like money's important, like you gotta worry about your finances, but like if you're putting your health over wealth, I think that's the wrong way about going about life. You know, let us know in the comments what you think. Health over wealth or wealth over health. I feel like that's a good debate that could be, you know, maybe agreed upon. You know, there may be some agreement in the comments, but yeah, let's finish this guy off.
The peasants, the medieval peasants, got half a year off. They got half a year off of work. And the 6 months that they would spend not tilling the fields, they would be taken care of by their lord. Like, are we worse off than medieval peasants? Like, yeah, we got technology, sure. But are we worked to the goddamn bone? I think so.
Yeah, no, that is crazy to think that we may be worse off than, you know, peasants in times past. We may even consider, you know, modern day work culture more barbaric than the barbarians. You know, that might be a crazy take, but you know, interesting to think about. But yeah, let's finish. This is the last video. This lady talks about being 25 and her whole life sort of, you know, flips upside down.
3 things I prioritize as a 25-year-old. The first thing I prioritize is by far travel. If you know me, I try to be gone at least once a month if I can. And I'm very lucky. I'm a NICU nurse, so I have a lot of flexibility in traveling, which has allowed me to do that. I feel like traveling has added so much perspective to my life and value to my life. I had a lot of different dreams before I traveled than once I started traveling.
Yeah, like like I've been saying on this channel since the beginning, like that first guy said about the neurons being developed from travel. This girl clearly at 25, you know, values all her values change after being a traveled person, which, you know, is one of the main reasons why I advocate for traveling, solo traveling specifically. But yeah, let's let her cook.
I realize that there's a lot more out there than just where I live currently. That kind of brings me to my second point, my second thing that I prioritize. I reevaluate my dreams, my goals, and aspirations frequently. When I first got out of college, my dream was to be a NICU nurse. I got the job, I started, I loved it. And I went about a year and a half without evaluating what I wanted to do next. I always just assumed it would be to be a nurse practitioner. I kind of was on that plan that I was kind of told I should be on. As I've been working, I've been reevaluating like, oh, do I actually want to be a nurse practitioner? Do I like bedside nursing? Do I like my unit? Is my dream the same as it was 2.5 years?
Yeah, the values change, like, especially when you get out of college. 5 years later, that usually happens. Especially, it seems like she's talking about being in nursing. I think, this happens a lot with nursing students, especially because the main reason I feel like, sorry about that. I feel like one of the main reasons why people pursue nursing is because of the high pay. Little do they know when they actually start working as a nurse, the hours suck. I know female nurses whose hours are, 12 hours a day, and you're not getting a lot of sleep. But, I could see that, like, your life perspective changing a lot, especially coming out of college from being a nurse, and then you start traveling. That's a big life change, but let's let her finish.
Years ago. I feel like when you frequently ask yourself, what's my next step? Am I really happy here? How do I want my life to look? I feel like you become aware of the choices that you're making. In doing this frequently, I've found that there's some things I want to add to my life, something that I want to change about my life. And when I'm hyper aware of like, oh, I really do want to do that, I think that just has helped me get into some new experiences, and I've learned a lot more about myself. Number 3 is prioritizing movement in every day of your life. That could be a actual workout class or just taking a walk after work. I grew up in a household where fitness and moving your body and prioritizing the well-being of your body was a main focus of our family. When I was 16, I worked at Pure Barre, and this I think really sparked my love for workout classes and fitness.
Yeah, no. Prioritize fitness over anything. You're only stuck with one body for the rest of your life. If anything, your body should be one of your top main priorities. Stretch every day. Stretch every day. You're going to feel it. In your late 20s, you're going to feel it. I'm feeling it now. Like, this is why I always have to remind myself that when I go to the gym, I have to stretch, because you need that flexibility for when you're traveling, especially. So if you want to do like any activity, stretching is important. Health and wellness is very important. But yeah, let's let her finish this off.
It's truly important for the longevity of your health. So why not start that practice now, your daily routine, and then that way when you're older and as you grow, you feel good, you look good, and it's already part of your life. And speaking of, I'm about to head to a hot sculpt class, so bye.
Yeah, no. Always prioritize your health. You only get one body. Only get one body. But I think that's it for this video. I hope you guys got something from it. Make sure you guys are planning for something for your future. Don't just give up on your life. I know things are difficult now. Times are always going to be difficult. So you want to just prepare yourself. Okay. If that's one thing you guys take away from this video, make sure you're ready for anything and you're doing what makes you happy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have more videos like this. I've been trying to upload more frequently. I hope you guys noticed. And yeah, leave a comment what your thoughts on traveling are, what videos you liked. I learned something about that solo traveling thing. When you solo travel, I guess different neurons activate in your head. That sounds like a little bit of like pseudoscience. I don't know if I completely believe in that. Maybe you get the same experience from group traveling, but who knows? But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you watched all the way through, leave a comment what you think. And if you want more content like this, feel free to subscribe. And yeah, look forward to more videos from me. And I'll see you guys later.